Hi, this is Mr. Chandler. We're going to look at 2.3, Nationalism to Sectionalism. In the last few units we were talking about how we have this westward expansion and this growing sense of nationalism in the country, and today we're going to look at how that nationalism really quickly turned to sectionalism. As the country expanded, geographic differences again caused sectionalism because they developed differently than other places based off of the way their area was. For instance, if they were in Mississippi or Alabama, then they would have had slavery because they were able to grow stuff. Sectionalism is a tendency to be more concerned with the interests of your particular group or region rather than the problems and interests of the country as a whole. That means that each part of the country put their own interests ahead of the others. For instance, the South is more concerned about what they need rather than what the country as a whole needs. That's why they did not support the tariff, as an example. The North is doing the same thing. Some examples of sectionalism were the economic differences in the areas. The South was more focused on agriculture. The North's more focused on trading. That means the South doesn't like a protective tariff, while the North does like a protective tariff because then it protects their manufacturing. Labor is a big difference in who moved there between like the immigrants and whether it was slave labor. Social reform and the National Bank. The South tended not to like the National Bank while the North tended to like the National Bank. There are some examples of nationalism at the time. For instance, the building of the Erie Canal in New York. Also, the American System by Henry Clay was a popular idea at the time, although all the parts of the country didn't buy into it. And this attempt to bring the three areas of the country together to support each other, meaning like the South might grow cotton, and then the North would make that into cloth and fabric, and then they'd be able to sell it. Or the West would produce food, and then the North would then trade it. Problem is the South doesn't really buy into the American system, and they want to get their stuff from Great Britain. This concludes the brief summary of 2.3. Please go to the other video that has been posted on Edmodo to see a more in-depth look at 2.3. Also go there to take the video quiz and turn in the notes guide. Thank you.